And we are live. What's up, everybody? AG here from Majors Collectibles, back with another live. Here we got the homeboy Jerry, man, from Jerry's Got Pops.
Woo!
Good to have this guy on here. Today's live, live stream. We're showing and talking about our respective top 5 of the Yu-Gi-Oh monsters from the main series, and just give a little description and why we chose them and why we think they fit to be top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hell yeah, AJ.
hell yeah, bro. How you doing today?
Honestly, dude, I am doing okay. I feel like I am, I don't know, pretty high energy. I've been out hunting a lot lately because of Pokemon cards. Actually, Pokemon cards have gotten my butt out of my chair and gotten me out into the Walmarts and Targets of the world. I'm a little tired of going inside of Walmart and Target at this point because it is, God forbid, it's a lot. But no, I've been out hunting a lot. And trying and staying safe while hunting. To everyone out there, staying safe, wear your mask. But if you're getting out there, and stay, be quick. But yeah, I've been out a lot, and honestly, I've been well though. I feel like I've been super well. The other night, doing you pulled me in the last hour of your 4-hour live stream. That was a lot of fun. But other than that, I've just been chilling, trying to work on some stuff and getting ready. Just getting excited for New York Comic Con, which is. I get a shop with my lottery ticket on Thursday. So that's what I'm excited for. So that's coming up.
What time does it start on Thursday?
So I have a lottery slot for noon your time. So it's 2:00 my time there. And the first lottery slot is actually at 10 a.m. your time. So California time. And yeah, so the first slot will be 10, and then mine's at noon. So I'm curious to see what the experience is like for everyone who got the 10 o'clock slot. There were 5,500 people selected for 10 o'clock. My slot's at noon. There's 5,500 of us selected for that slot. So I'm really curious. But then Friday, this is different than other cons they've done recently. Friday they're going live with all of the shared sites and in stores around the country. So at open on Friday, every store should be able to sell their con pops. And then on top of that, there's also at 9 a.m., I believe, all of the shared retailers are dropping their exclusives, which should be a total shit show. I fully expect that because, can you imagine, you want something at Target and GameStop and Barnes and Walmart or something, and at 9 a.m., all of them go live simultaneously. You're going to not be able to get everything you want at all. It's going to be very difficult to navigate that situation if you're a consumer. Hopefully you're out. It sucks because if you want to do it virtually, you're going to have a difficult time. So you almost have to try to go find some of these in stores. So I don't know. I feel bad. I don't know.
No, that's true. To me, that's one of the reasons why I left the Funko game.
Yeah. I think it's scaring a lot of people off right now. Honestly, right? I just feel like a lot of people are getting upset constantly with their mismanaged, I don't want to call it mismanaged, with their decisions when it involves thinking of their buyers. That's what I'll say. I think they aren't as thoughtful of the choices that their buyers are going to have to make, especially knowing that a lot of their collectors collect a lot of different lines and a lot of different stuff, and they want to have an opportunity to get lots of different pops for their collection. So I don't know. I'm up and down about it, but it should be a fun weekend. I hope that, I'll debrief a bit afterwards. I'm sure everyone's going to be either mad or sad, or they're going to be happy, or blah, blah, blah. Come Saturday, things are already going to start hitting. Things have already started hitting the secondary market, so values are going to start getting established, and there's going to be a big conversation about, okay, what happens next, blah, blah, blah. Our next big con won't be until ECCC, which is all the way in March, so we've got a long time to kind of reset after this one. But I don't know. I agree. Yeah, people are getting out of the Funko game left and right.
No, yeah. Well, there's also LA Comic Con, LACC.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's coming up as well. And I think they only have one exclusive pop this year, which is surprising because usually they have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised and they usually have a Marvel one. I feel like they've had a Marvel one the last many years. And
because you know how before it used to be known as Stan Lee's Comic Con.
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's crazy though, because so this year they only have what's his name? Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
That's all they have. So that's very weird. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's a smaller con. Obviously, only one pop compared to the 60 that's coming out for New York Comic Con. But
Yeah.
it's whatever. We're not here to talk about Funko, are we, AJ?
Oh.
We talking. Woo!
Kaiba.
he's like, I banish you to the Shadow Realm.
Oh no.
Yeah, bro, that's what's up.
You want to get started now, or do you want to talk about some other things already?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't know. What I mean, I can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh forever because I am a kid that was born and raised on Yu-Gi-Oh. When I was young, I played Yu-Gi-Oh pretty seriously, is the word that I would use. I first started playing when I must have been in elementary school or early middle school, and collected the cards, but also played the game like really hard. So I mean, I played in the metas from pretty much when the game first started hitting hard all the way through to synchros. So I played through to synchros before I finally dropped and didn't play as much recently. I'll still occasionally play, like, there's Duel Links, which is the app on your phone if you haven't played that. But my family was really intensely into the cards. My older brother used to be a local like judge, so he would actually he would be one of the people that could come around and like handle disputes if people had qualms about cards during tournaments, about what card effects meant. So he used to do that. And then I used to play quite a bit. I think when I left the game, I want to say I was using an Ice Barrier deck when I left. If anyone knows Ice Barriers, we won't be talking about those tonight because it's generations beyond where we were, where we're talking mainly about OG cards tonight. But I was using Ice Barriers. I used to run Ojamas for a while, which is a terrible, terrible deck to run. Don't ever run those. It was not meta. And then obviously I think at one point everyone played an Envoy of the End, Envoy of the Beginning deck, the Chaos decks that were really popular for a while, sort of in the mid meta. And then, by the time Synchros kind of rolled around, I barely played at that point and kind of stepped away from the game. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still a huge part of my sort of childhood. It's that nostalgia factor that comes with Yu-Gi-Oh! That makes you think like, oh my gosh. Obviously, as an anime fan, I'm a big fan of the anime. Been in the anime since I was a child. Watched all of it essentially up until whatever the hell happens. I feel like there's like a 5th or 6th season right now. What's the latest one on TV right now?
Well, I don't know if it's playing currently in the US.
I don't think it is. I think it's only in Japan right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I know they did Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Did you ever hear about that one?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I never watched it.
Yeah, me neither. Never watched Zexal either. So Zexal, I definitely did not. Then they had Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V. I remember when that one came out. That one got a full anime series as well. Oh, V-Reigns came out after Arc V. And I remember when V-Reigns came out. And I want to say, no, there's one other newer one. Oh, geez. Yep. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens is actually airing right now in Japan. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. And it looks like it's only got 18 episodes out as of right now. And it looks like it's still running. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens is the current series. Yeah, Arc V and V-Reigns, I was not as involved in the show. I think 5Ds is mainly when I kind of stepped away from the series, watching the anime at least. So anyone who watches Exel or V-Reigns, tell me, was it any good? Is it something I need to go back and watch? Someone should, at some point in time, they should definitely check. Let me know.
Let me tell you this. How do you feel knowing that they did all these spin-offs and then with them not continuing the main series?
Man, how do you feel about that, AJ? Does it make you mad when you look back? You're like, I want more Yugi and Kaiba?
Well, to be honest, yeah, because we saw how, the main series ended, and then I never got into the spin-offs at all. Like, I remember seeing maybe a little clip on TV when I was younger, and I was like, nope, this is not Yugi, this is not Kaiba, I'm not going to watch it.
Right.
Maybe they could have continued it, maybe with like a spin-off, but maybe with starting the lives of Mokuba, like him becoming a duelist, like it could have been something like that,
Yeah, it was interesting they decided to, and I wonder if it has to do with just like, I don't know, the original author of the series kind of stepped away, so obviously like they wanted to continue making content, and I'm sure someone in some big corporate studio was like, we've got to keep milking this. And they were like, we've got to make more. So they probably, pumped out GX and all this other stuff 5D. So I don't know. It could be any of that stuff, honestly, AJ. But I don't know. When I was a kid, I liked GX a lot because it was like, they were like at school and like Yugi was like the founder of the school. And like, I thought that was so cool. And then at the end of the series, like Yugi and Jaden like dueled each other. And I always thought that was like cool because there was still that connection to Yugi. But then by the time we get to like 5Ds, it was like that connection like slowly dwindled. And now like it's like not even like a thing at all. And I agree with you. I think that would have been cool to see more. I think part of me just kind of wishes like the card game could have lived on like without either without the show, like out there being an anime, or they've done more like Pokemon where it's like Yugi just continues to compete in new leagues and let him like reset each season or something, that way you can just, that would have been an interesting take on it, I think, as well. Because, Pokemon has just sort of been like, okay, here's Ash, this character we had in the beginning, and his Pikachu, and we're just going to pretend like he never ages and just continues to live vicariously through the next experience. So I think that would have been interesting instead of having to introduce new characters, new generations. But that's the direction they went, and I think that's where we are now. And yeah, I think that I've fallen out of it, but I do wonder if like younger kids, because clearly Yu-Gi-Oh is still one of the most popular card games in the world. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, do the younger kids, like, do they buy into the new card, like the new anime? Like, is that something that is still exciting to them? I have no idea. I don't even know. Like you said, I don't even know if the new anime even comes on in America anymore, which is interesting that I don't know that. I like actually have no idea if the new seasons, and if they do, where are they showing them? Are they like Cartoon Network or something? I have no idea.
Yeah, because they used to show them on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, WB had them for a long time. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah, so
yeah, I don't know.
It's just
yeah, AJ, you're like, I just want to relive the glory days.
Yeah, I do.
Trying to relive the Yu-Gi-Oh glory days. Damn it. Oh my gosh.
Like, to me, I have always wondered, what could have been done if if Weevil never threw the Exodia cards in the ocean.
Right. You're talking about like in the OG show when Weevil threw Exodia out. Yeah. You think that things would have changed? I don't know. Yugi still ended up being the best duelist in the freaking world. So like I think by the last season he like had to battle ancient Egyptian duelists. It's like Yugi was still a badass without Exodia. That's the one thing that like the show tries to implore upon you, right? I think as a kid it was like this good lesson. There was like there's going to be bad people out there, but you're going to persevere and still become the best. Like that's what it was in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. But yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting. I would have loved to have seen more of our good man Exodia, the Forbidden One, who I only have one piece of right here, only this left arm. I would. How cool would it have been if the Funko Pop had been 5 separate Funko Pops and you had to piece them together? What?
That would be cool, to be honest. That would be cool.
Yeah, I feel like people, even though you would have been buying an arm, I feel like, or if they were packaged, like what if they had done like a Marvel Legends thing where like all the other Yu-Gi-Oh pops came packaged with like a piece of Exodia and then you could piece them together. That would have been cool. Similar like how Marvel Legends has like Build-A-Figures. I'd have been here for it. Man, there's some good ass cards in this. Oh, okay. Nothing. Continue. Continue, AJ. All right, boy.
To you, let's before we show off our monsters, but
yes.
Like what kind of monster pops to you do you expect for them to come out next? I know the next one is Merrick, but like, what about the monsters? I mean, I know Raw will be coming soon, but like, what do you think will be the next monsters after that? Right.
I think that. I just noticed Nakama and Awakened Sage are in the chat. Yeah, hi Nakama. Hi Woke. Oh geez. Okay, what monster pop do I think they could come out with next? Well, first off, I think that if they continue down the streak, it's all about. Oh, and Rob. If they continue down the streak, I think they could put out more monsters like in tandem with their like, or more anime characters with their like main monster. Like for me, if they were to do like My Valentine and then do her Harpy Lady, like I think that would be really cool. So that way you always had like a character and a monster card with it. I think that would be a good way to handle it. Just like I kind of wish, since they did Pegasus, I wish they had done like a relinquished pop. I think that would have been really cool. Done relinquished. Or even like a tune monster, you know, pick any of the tunes and put it with him. That would have been really nice. Just because I think for the display's sake, since they're all holding cards, it would look really cool if, you know, their monster was displayed in front of them. You know, you could do all sorts of fun displays that way. That would have been my guess. Who else from the show would need? I don't know. I guess Tristan and Taya don't really have like primary monster cards or like cards that you could do. So that would be kind of weird. But if they were to go off and do more of the people that he dueled, especially if you look at like Duelist Kingdom, or even going in, they need to do freaking, oh my God, Bakura, was that his name? Yeah. But yeah, I think that would have been a really good one to do. And they could partner him with, I guess he kind of switched cards though throughout the show, but they could pick any of his monsters that he used, and that would be a cool one to do. But also, it would be really cool to do like Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I feel like he's really iconic. You know, 3-headed Blue Eyes. Geez, what else is in there that would be really dope? Oh, Blacklister Soldier. That's an iconic card from Yugi's deck. Yes. They can do Blacklister Soldier. Even like Chaos Magician, maybe. That's a couple that are just off the top of my head, though. Karibo would be really. I feel like he's iconic. Yo, Rob's getting your ass.
Rob, I'm gonna ban you, eh?
Oh. Rob, what the heck, dude? But yeah, that's my thoughts, AJ. What do you think? What do you think of the next monsters they're gonna make into Funko Pops?
I mean, I agree with your list, but when you said Duelist Kingdom, you know how they did, you know how they've done the Pop Towns?
Oh yeah.
The Pop Town of Duelist Kingdom. That would be
insane looking, especially if they were to try to like get the shape of the island or whatever, or even if they were to just do like Pegasus's castle on the Duelist Kingdom. That would be cool. That'd be a super cool way to handle it. That's a good idea, AJ. You better call Funko right now. Funko, listen, make more Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the only Funko line that I'm making an exception of.
Right. I mean, obviously, I'm making a lot of exceptions. I'm still sticking with my Funko Pops, even if it's not perfect. You know, the company is not. Yeah, they have problems, but you know, you live and you learn.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
All right, AJ, we gonna make this happen?
Yeah, just gotta give me a second.
Here, technical time. AJ is gonna pull up the best cards of Yu-Gi-Oh. Dude, this is a cool ass card. Do you remember this guy? He was kind of freaking scary.
Oh yeah, Sword Stalker.
Bro, why was this card so freaking scary? And not just that, but this was like a very like not useful card. He has no effect. He is a freaking, how many stars does he have up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 star. That means he takes 2 tributes just to get on the field. And I'm like, that's an ass card, but he was so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh man, the old cards had so many cards that were like just useless. All right, I'll show some more cards on the screen since people are here to see Yu-Gi-Oh. Here, so here's Exodia, the Forbidden One, in his left arm. Look at that. Old school left arm of the Forbidden One. While AJ is getting things ready. Here's another cool one. Let's look at man, those are all lame. Let's go to.
Yeah, I'm just like hitting up some friends right now because I'm gonna have like a barbecue and bonfire this Saturday, you know, for my birthday.
We think about this. We think about this card, AJ.
Oh, I remember that card. Yeah.
Why is this? This is a hamburger that eats you. I just was like, I was looking at this and I was like, what the heck? Like, why does this exist? When did the Yu-Gi-Oh designers go like, I've got it, a hamburger that eats you? That's like, pretty funny.
I don't even think that card was in the show at all.
No, I don't think so. I think that was just for the card game. Yeah. A lot of cards didn't make it into the show. I feel like Feral Imp, wasn't this like, I feel like Yugi used this card like in the very first battle with Kaiba, I think. Like his very first duel with Kaiba. I think he used a feral imp, and it just got walked on. Like nobody, like, oh man, I need this to focus. I'm pretty sure it just got walked on. I don't know if you saw it today, AJ. Do you know who Gus Johnson is on YouTube?
I think I might have seen a couple of videos before.
He's like a sketch comedian. He's got like 2 million subscribers, something like that. But he does like sketch comedy, and he posted a video today that was like, it was about Yu-Gi-Oh. You should go watch it if you haven't already. It's a really funny video because he's like talking about how Yu-Gi-Oh monsters are ridiculous. Like some of them are just ridiculous. And he's like, yeah, how about we make a monster card where it's just like an old Chinese takeout container filled with mayo, just filled to the brim with mayo. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this man is acting up. All right.
You ready to get started?
Oh, I'm beyond ready, AJ. I'm beyond ready.
And what's up, Titus? Titus just showed up.
Woo!
Let me share screen this. Share. Let me full screen this.
Oh shoot! This man got the official. He about to do a full on. This is a class presentation, everyone. Sit your ass down. We about to talk Yu-Gi-Oh. We about to talk Yu-Gi-Oh, baby.
There was a spoiler. I need
no.
full screen this. Where's the? wait. There we go.
Every kiss begins with K.
All right. Share screen.
You better press full screen.
There we go.
There it is. There it is, boys.
So all right. So everyone, let us know what you think in the comments. What do you think of our top 5? So starting off, we're gonna start off with Jerry's top 3 honorable mentions. So you have Gaia, Harpy Lady, and Judgment Man.
Judgment. Okay, so yes, boys. So these were my honorable mentions. And for me, when you go back to the classic Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a specific reason why I picked these cards, for me at least. Gaia is one of the first monsters that comes off as just impressive. Yugi uses Gaia in some of his earliest duels, and you're just like, oh, this dude's hot. When Gaia hits the field, you're like, this man is hot. He rides in on purple. He got a purple horse, a purple horse. I said, Gaia, are you playing with me? Do not do this. He's got not 1 lance, but 2. I don't know who designed this guy, but he is just going to destroy. He's going to wreck you. If you see Gaia on the field, he is coming for you. Yes, he's not a great monster card in the actual game, but in the show, he was really badass. Like, that was, like, top tier, like, just badass. And then you got your Harpy Lady, right? So, honorable mention, obviously, she almost made the top 5, but honorable mention because I love my Valentine, and I think that my Valentine is like the waifu of the show. She is the mega waifu herself, and her monster, the Harpy Lady, was always just super slick, super cool. I almost picked like the Harpy Lady sisters so I could have 3 Harpies, but 1 was good enough. And then actually, look what I found, AJ. I found the original monster card of Judgeman himself.
Oh,
so there's
cool.
There's Judgeman. And okay, the reason I like Judgeman, this is going to sound wild. I don't know if you remember this season, AJ, but during the Battle City tournament of Yu-Gi-Oh, the original season, okay, there was a filler season where they went inside of like a video game and they were like transformed into monsters.
I
remember, and there were these like 7 organization people who like all were like villain monsters, and Judgeman was one of the villain monsters. And I don't know why, but I thought he was so badass looking. I was like, man, Judgeman is really like the homie, dude. That is the only reason Judgeman makes an honorable mention, because for me, he is just a really cool designed character. I don't know why Yu-Gi-Oh thought to give. You can see there in the picture. He has 2 like, what are those, like maces? He's got like 2 maces because he's gonna whack the bollocks out of you. And those big old teeth. This dude is wild. This is not even a man. He looks like a behemoth. That's all that so he made it in my top 5 just because he was a badass design, and I liked him in that filler arc of the anime. So if you've seen the anime, you know that. There is my honorable mentions, AJ. Gaia, Harpy Lady, and Judge Man.
And those are pretty good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so my honorable mentions, we got Beta, Alpha, and Gamma that combine into Valkyrian, the Magnet Warrior. So
Ooh.
me, I chose these two just because to me, I have always been a big fan of them when they first debuted in the show and when the cards first came out. And what I also loved about the three of them that they can easily combine into Valkyria and the Magna Warrior without using a polymerization card, without polymerization. So to me, to me, I feel like they were kind of underrated for me to put this in my top three honorable mentions.
Right. I'm trying to remember who used them in the show. AJ, do you remember?
Yeah, it was you.
Yugi himself actually used those. That's
Yeah.
I was trying to remember. Yeah. Is he used it later in the show, but yeah, dang, that's crazy. I totally forgot about those guys. That's good picks.
No, yeah, and what I also liked about them is that throughout the years they came out with a lot more, well, not a lot, but like a couple more support cards for them. They had like different artworks and different names, and like they had like three other magnet warriors that all formed together with concluding these three into one giant magnet monster. So
that's crazy.
definitely. That's crazy. So that's my top three honorable mentions.
Woo!
So Jerry, starting with your top five, with number 5, you chose Dragon Master Knight.
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, you picked a good picture, AJ. Holy shit. So for those of you that have forgotten what this card is, this is the fusion of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and Blackluster Soldier. So Yugi and Kaiba were in a tag team duel in the series, and they had to fuse two of their monster cards together, and they got Blackluster Soldier, who summoned via a ritual card, and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which you have to fuse 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons together to make, and they fused them together, everyone. They put the Blackluster Soldier on top of the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I was crying as a kid, AJ. I was like, this shouldn't happen. I was like, this shouldn't be real. Now, in the card game itself, it's a bit of a, if you've played with it, it's not a particularly like useful. It's a good monster, but it takes a lot to get him out, and it's not really worthwhile. It doesn't really work in the structure of a lot of decks. So for the card game fans, this is probably not your go-to card, but his just pure existence alone is just beyond cool. And it's one of those things that, like, the anime, just like with the Egyptian god cards originally, they weren't playable cards in the official card game. They were more like anime inspired, and they later became official cards. This is the same thing. This is kind of an anime inspired card, so the series sort of impacts that. And I think that's what makes it such a badass looking card. Obviously, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is just awesome by himself, but if you stick Blackluster Soldier on his back, it's going to be even crazier. And that's just what I loved about it. Just a really, really awesome design. And you got to give it to Kazuki Takahashi. Like, this is a really, really cool concept as well to use for something like a card game battle show when you've got your two rivals having to team up together. So that's why I like this one.
No, definitely. And that's a good start, to start out with number 5 for your top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like you said, I mean, I kind of wish they kind of used it a little bit more, like, in the show as well.
Yeah. I think they only used it 2 or 3 times throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
I want to say it got used. I think in one of the movies they used it as well. Because Yugi and Kaiba had to team up to fight some other bad guy. Duel. They had to duel some other bad guy. But yes, that makes sense.
I think it might have been in the movie Pyramid of Light, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was. I'd have to double check, but I think it was. Yeah. Dope. All right, AJ.
So me starting off with my top 5, coming in at number 5, we got Gearford, the Lightning Knight.
Guilford himself, boy.
Yeah. Like me, I have always been a fan of the lightning monsters throughout the show and the cards. Those were always like, my to-go cards. You always used the lightning type monsters. And like when Joey, in the show first debuted with this card, I was like, oh man, he's about to be badass, man. He has such a badass look, the sword, all that armor, And like to me, I just feel like I think it would have to be perfect in my top five, and like just the way he was. I think to me, in my opinion, it was definitely one of Joey's best cards in general.
Absolutely. This is a highlight of the back half for Joey. He started using it a lot in the later half of the series. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, he started using it more like I think when in
I
Battle
think
City,
it's Battle City.
and a little bit after Battle City. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely used it a lot in Battle City. That's cool. That's a great. I'm surprised, just like you guys are. AJ's surprising me with his top five. I didn't get to see these beforehand, so that's awesome. I love Guilford.
Definitely. Okay. Coming in at number 4 with Jerry's number 4 spot, we got Buster Blader.
Woo! So we got two swords guys back to back like this.
Yeah.
I think Buster Blader and Guilford, those are two solid. And yeah, Buster Blader, he's one of Yugi's monster cards. He uses it in the back, and I think he starts using it in Battle City, maybe late in Duelist Kingdom. It's one of those cards that was really cool. I want to say he's a ritual card in the actual game. I could be wrong. I want to say something like that. He was a little harder. No, he might just be a standard summon card.
I think it was a standard card.
Standard?
I think you're thinking of Black Luster Soldier.
Oh, I am. Thank you. Yeah, I got to mix up. Buster Blader, yeah, he was standard. But, I just think he's one of those designs that, like, when you see it, he looks like a like Power Ranger mixed with, like, an ancient knight to me. Like, this is like,
I see that.
Like, Buster Blader just appeals to my sensibilities in so many ways with his design. And, again, when you would use cards like these, it was always like a hype ass moment in the show. Like you would always be like out of your seat as a kid because you'd see like a card like Buster Blader hit the field and you'd be like, oh man. I think he got kind of ran over in one of his duels. I think Buster Blader kind of got walked on by one of the other guys. But to me, Buster Blader is hype AF when you see him hit the field. He is the OG, just dope. I mean, just look at the design, dude. Like I just can't get over it. But that's Buster Blader.
Jeff, like definitely, man. The design is great, and like you said, I could totally I see it now. Just him being a mixture of a Power Ranger and like a knight.
That's why I always liked him. I was like, dude looks like a Power Ranger, bro. I was so hyped about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a great pick too. Woo. And coming in for me for my number 4, we got Toon Dark Magician Girl.
Oh, get him. Okay, sorry, I'm hyped too about your stuff.
Yeah, to me, I always felt, once when the Toon monsters they first debuted, I was like, holy shit, like it's just crazy what they done, making all these, cards of ours that are favorites becoming Toon created into Toons. So, I had a lot of favorite cards and monsters were like they were toonified, like Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Toon Dragon, Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. I could have chose any of those, but like I had to go with Dark Magician Girl. I mean, right here she just looks so cute, the way she's popping out of the book, and like I just feel like to me like one of Pegasus' best Toon cards that he's ever used, and like it's just I mean what else can I say? She's very cute. But I just wish, she could have been more utilized, like Jerry says, with other monsters, like because I wish we could have seen more of Pegasus in future seasons, and with him using Toon Dark Magician Girl. But like me, I definitely had to put this in number 4 spot in my top 5.
Dang, that's dope. I love Toon monsters and DMG Dark Magician Girl. She's dope. I mean. Just look at that. Just really cool. Great one.
Yeah, it definitely is. So cute.
So cute.
And coming in with Jerry with his 3rd spot, we got Goblin Attack Force.
Woo! Okay, so this one is purely based off me playing the card game. So like I think he only appears in the actual anime like once, ever, and it's like a brief appearance. So my choice for Goblin Attack Force comes purely from when I used to play the game as a kid. So for those of you that used to play, you may have remembered one of the early metas of the game was the they called it the monster beatdown deck, and it was an early deck meta where all you would try to do was you would try to summon. It was essentially a speed summon deck where you would summon a bunch of monsters, and then you would try to have monsters that could attack either double attack or attack quickly, so on and so forth, so you could just deplete your opponent's life points super fast. And it was referred to as just a beatdown deck. And Goblin Attack Force was one of the prime cards in that deck. I want to say it's because his effect, and I have to double check. I want to say his effect allows him to attack twice, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm doubling checking because I don't want to be an idiot. Yeah, this card attacks it as a change in defense decision at the end of the battle phase, and its battle decision cannot be changed. Oh, no, okay, it can only attack once, and then it gets changed into defense. So it's a really interesting card because when you get onto the field, I remember this now. So you had to get it onto the field, and then when it gets changed to defense, you essentially would be prepared for it to die, but you wouldn't lose any life points, which is a really nice situation to be in. But he just automatically died because his defense was at 0. But still, he's one of those cards that's just like pure beatdown, right? Like when you see the Goblin Attack Force, he's got 2,300. He only takes 1 tribute to get on the field. I mean, just a monster to me. Just I love it. And also, I thought the design was always super menacing as a kid, and I always thought like, oh no, they got the Goblin Attack Force, boy, you got to be careful. I don't know, goblins are scary. But yeah, that was my big reason. Again, I think he only showed up in the show like once, and I want to say it was a throwaway card for someone like Joey or something. It was just one of those cards that he threw out, and it got killed in like 1 hit or something, and you didn't even see it again. But still a really cool card that's iconic part of my childhood because it was one of my first playable decks when I was a kid.
No, definitely. And to me, they kind of look like those Super Scrolls from Marvel.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point, dude. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's definitely a great top 3 right there.
Yes. Okay.
So for me, coming to my number 3 pick, we got Summon Skull.
I love Summon Skull.
Yeah, me too, man. When he first appeared, I was like, oh my god, as a kid, he just looked so badass. Mm-hmm. And I had like a lot of fun as a kid having that card. Him fusing with a black red ice black dragon, black skull dragon, like oh my god, he's another lightning monster that I loved growing up. I loved having the card. I loved how Yugi always used them when he had the chance. To me, I think he was always one of like Yugi's best card as well. Because I know he only used him like in the first season. After the first season when he reached About City, he never used the card anymore. But like I always loved him in the first season, Duelist Kingdom season, and like just like all that detail he has going on in his like entire body. The lightning, the effects that he always has, like the big wings like behind him, like it was just always one of my favorites.
That's crazy, dude. Well, AJ, I'm sure if you click the button, you would know that my next one, which I don't know if you, since I'm going to talk about it anyway. I'm about to
coming in at Jerry's top 2. One.
It's the same one I also picked. Summon Skull for my number 2, so around the same spot as AJ. And I have the same feelings as AJ about this card. It's just one of those cards that just, when you're a kid and you see that first episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you see someone like the Summon Skull, you think it's legitimately the coolest thing that's ever existed. It's a freaking behemoth skull, like it's both a skeleton and it's like more muscular than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, look at this man. He's both buff and a skeleton at the same time. He's got giant wings. He is just an incredible card. And just looks super cool. And like AJ said, it feels like Yu-Gi monsters. Like it feels like Duel Monsters to me. Like it feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! To me, because when you think of Yu-Gi-Oh, like I connect it to the Summon Skull. Like I think he is a really iconic representation of the original series, and he just looks great. So yeah, I'm totally there with you, AJ, obviously. And also he's one of I have like a fascination with like creatures with skulls for heads. And this is like I think Summon Skull like started that fascination for me. That's when I first was like, yes, I do like that.
Yeah, Summon Skull, so badass, man.
So dope. I knew I had a feeling we'd have some that were the same on this list, AJ. I was ready for it.
And coming in with my number 2, we got Dark Sage.
Oh, the Dark Sage, boy! I forgot about this card. Oh, that's sick.
The only problem I have with this card is that I wish he could have been used more in the show.
Yeah.
Just the way with how I forgot Yugi was dueling against might have been Joey in the finals of the Duelist Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
And I forgot how was it. I think it was Time Wizard who was going back in time. To have a baby dragon go into Thousand Dragon.
Oh yes. That is how he first gets it.
Yeah, and I believe at the same time, it was Dark Magician that went back in time, and that's how he turned into Dark Sage. Yeah. To me, he just always looked badass, and like the way Dark Magician as an older version, like he looks really cool, man. And I feel like him being as an older version, he was more powerful. And that's like I said, that's the only problem I had. That I wish he could have been used more in the show as well.
It's a really cool design too. I think that card just has a really great design to it. And you kind of think like, oh yeah, what if Dark Magician got aged up, or like what if that looked like that? And it just looks really cool.
Yeah, I feel like just wait. It just sucks he only got used once in the show.
Yeah. Booty.
And coming in at number 1 for Jerry's top pick, number 1, Jinzo.
Woo! All right, so if you guys do not know Jinzo, he first shows up in the Battle City tournament. And if I'm remembering correctly, he actually is originally used by an enemy of Joey, right? I believe that in his first appearance, he is actually an enemy is using him. And one of the things that happens in Battle City, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when they would win a duel, they would get to pick a card from the person they beat's deck. So he beats this guy, and I'm pretty sure it was the guy that who was like a psychic, was the character's.
Yeah, his name was Esparoba.
Yeah, Estaroba. That was his name. He was a psychic, and so when Joey beats him, he takes his Jinzo card, and Jinzo becomes a part of Joey's deck for the rest of the Battle City tournament. And I remember just the design of Jinzo has this creepiness to it. It has this sort of like hollowed look, and in the show, he kind of like owned that. I think there was like a piece of that. It just felt creepy, psychic, powerful. I think for me, like I just latched onto that as a kid. Like I loved the look of it, the darkness of it, the way the character just appeared. And also I think that he had some cool concepts when it actually came to playing the game. You could play Jinzo in a couple different formats, and it was actually a playable card that held some weight. And I think for me, I liked that because I was like, oh, so you were seeing Jinzo being played at tournaments, local card shops, so on and so forth. You were seeing him. He's no longer meta, so I don't think Jinzo is still being run to this day. But back in the day, the meta had some Jinzo action in it. So as both a meta card at the time and one of the coolest monster cards to show up on the show, in one of the coolest arcs. I love the Battle City arc. I think Merrick makes for just a great villain overall. And you've got Jinzo. And Joey is my favorite of the Heroes team. I've always loved Joey Wheeler. If you don't love Joey Wheeler, GTFO. I love Joey. Him and his Brooklyn accent. I can't do a Brooklyn accent. I don't know why I tried. I love, and so Jinzo just easily, he's up there. It was tough because I thought about putting the Red Eyes Black Dragon onto this list as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that I kind of last minute decided that I liked some of these other ones just a little bit better because Red Eyes is sort of the Red Eyes, Time Wizard, Flame Soldier, a couple of other cards that like Joey was like known for consistently using. Like I thought they were really cool cards, but to me like Jinzo stood above them all. Like he was the moment when I was like, oh yeah, Jinzo is like just awesome, and I'm in it for this. So there we go. Jinzo is my number one. I am a big Jinzo fan, and I've been telling myself I want to get an old school Jinzo card and just get him in a little container and put him somewhere because I don't think he's very expensive by any means. So I might have to pick one up because he's just one of those cards that I would love to still have.
No, for real. And I know for a fact, Jerry, that if they came out with a Jinzo Funko Pop, you would be all over
it. Hell yeah, absolutely. Jinzo would be right. Oh my god, if they did Jinzo and Summon Skull, dude, like that would be a dream come true. Like that would be so dope to do those two cards. Like those two Funko Pops would be amazing. So yeah, I'd be all over it, bro.
Definitely, bro. And for me, coming to my number one, oh my god, he's one of my favorite sorcerers, one of my favorite magicians, man. I was so hyped when he first debuted in the show, and I had to put him as my number one. Dark Magician of Chaos.
Oh! I'm your hype man, AJ.
For real. Oh, man. I mean, what can I say? Like, he was always one of my favorites, top favorites. And I remember, like, as a kid, I used to have like those tins where they had the promo cards in front of them.
Yep.
Which was this one, Dark Magician of Chaos. And I remember just having that tin, but then, I wish I had it to this day, but now I don't anymore. But then he's always been he's always been one of my favorite sorcerers, one of my favorite magicians. Like, oh my god, the way he looks, man, like, oh, he's just so badass. Like, oh man. I seriously have no words with my number one.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a really iconic card too. You're right. I think he was one of the just like another one of those, just like Summon Skull. He was kind of like a symbol of the series. You would see him on a lot of like media stuff like that. And I think that I think there was the tin that was really when we were young that he was on the front or he was the promo card for it. That's crazy because that's such a cool card. He also didn't get as much spotlight in the show as much. I feel like Yugi only used him a couple times. Mm-hmm. But he was still a very like iconic character, iconic monster card. I'm hyped for that right now, AJ. I'm like, I gotta like,
slow it down, take it easy.
Yeah, I'm like, too cool, too many good cards. All right, AJ, we did it. They're at the end of slideshow. That's crazy. Here, I wonder what other cards I have in this little deck that I found. Let's see if any of these are even worth showing. I have this was a pretty popular card, I feel. Don't you feel like people probably liked this card quite a bit?
Celtic Guardian. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like he was pretty popular. Pretty popular card, Celtic Guardian. I feel like he was pretty dope.
I was reading the comments and fucking Rob, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Rob was coming for you this whole time. He said, I summoned shoe insults to give AJ some height. There's a solid one. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, we should fuse some heels to AJ's feet to give this guy some height. My top 3 cards are Boardwalk, Park Place, and Get Out of Jail. Suck on that. Legend. Rob is a damn legend, that's for sure.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shoot. Do you remember this card, AJ? I feel like I used to use this card in like every deck when I was younger.
Oh, yeah. I
don't know. He's got kind of a cool design, and I just thought as a kid, like I was like, oh yeah, this guy, he's cool. He looks like Link to me, like a knockoff Link. Yeah, like a knockoff Link. Who else do I have in here that would be fun to show off? Man, all the rest of these are lame. Nobody likes these other cards. That's all I have. I have all these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. These are an old deck. My wife found this old deck in her old stuff, and I thought it'd be fun to show it off on this live stream because it's the only cards I have right now. I still have my little brother. He keeps a lot of our rarest Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a binder at his house. So he actually has a bunch of our old ones from when we were kids in a big binder that he keeps. I just don't have the binder because it's with my little brother. He keeps it as just sort of a memento. We've been thinking about playing again, but there's been so many new rules and stuff that have been introduced that it's like, we don't want to learn all that, but it is fun to play on Duel Links. If you don't play on there, AJ, you should. It's pretty straightforward. And there's also a Switch game that came out recently that a lot of people really like that I've been thinking about picking up because it's very classic. It has a lot more of the classic monsters and stuff, and new stuff. So it's a really cool way to play as well. For those who don't play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, while I really love the Yu-Gi-Oh art and the anime and the manga, I also think the card game is way more fun than Pokemon, the card game. Don't at me. I think Pokemon has really cool art, but I think that the Yu-Gi-Oh card game is just way more fun. Like, it's just a blast to play. But that's just me. I liked the card game a lot as a kid, so obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like, to me, like, I had to actually take down my Yu-Gi-Oh shrine.
What? Where'd you put it? What'd you do with it?
I had it, then, this past weekend, I was cleaning my room, and I was reorganizing some stuff and putting some stuff away. I was like, I'm trying to make some room for my Marvel Legends because I don't currently have like a bookcase or something, and so again, at time being, I'm just gonna put them on the wall and some other legends. So like, I took down my Yu-Gi-Oh shrine and I put them away in the closet. So
Oh, in the closet. Well, they'll come back out eventually.
no, yeah,
They
they
can't,
will. I just
they can't stay in
don't have all the room and stuff.
Can't stay in the closet forever.
Yeah.
All right, AJ, we did it. We went over our top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. I'm so hype. I feel like this was like a dope idea to do this live too. I know we had a couple people in the comments, so that's really fun. What else did we want to do, AJ? We want to do anything else before we get off?
Well, tell me this. I mean, I know you mentioned like you were thinking about putting Red Eyes in your top 5. Like how long did it take you to come up with your top 5 to make sure it's the correct cards you wanted to put there? And was there like any regrets that you may not have put in your top 5?
Yeah, when you texted me, I think it took me like 3 days. And when I do something, AJ, like I get like really into it. So I started like looking at old cards. I was going through like hundreds of cards, like thinking about like, oh, what did I think about this card? What was my, I started reading stuff about it. I started looking at old scenes. I was like, man, what was the most nostalgic for me? And I just started like taking notes. I started literally like, okay, this one was cool. This, I like went for like, and I did that for like 2 nights in a row when I was like trying to figure it out. So I was like, what am I going to do for my top? I was like, this is hard. But I think that the ones that I landed on are representative of like what I really like what was cool to me. Like that's what was cool to me. Like all of that was cool to me. And so I like that. And yeah, Red Eyes was the only one that I maybe was going to squeeze in, but I just felt like Red Eyes was like too predictable. And it's like, yeah, I like the Red Eyes Black Dragon. He's obviously like an iconic card for Joey's deck. And I was just always a Joey kid growing up. I just connected the most with Joey. He's kind of the iconic like best friend type character. I just really like that. So I don't know. Joey was my guy. So obviously I liked the Red Eyes. But yeah, I think that I made the right choice keeping him out. I think a little too predictable. Wanted to stick with cards that really made like different types of impact on me instead. So he's my number 9. That's what I'll say. He's my number 9.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I feel like maybe we should have done the top 10.
Dang, yeah. What if we had done a top 10? That would and add a couple more on? Well, shit. Now I just need one more notch. It is getting late, AJ. It's early where you are, right?
Yes, it's 6:25.
Jesus, you're like in the dark. So I was like, what is he doing? It's already like 8:30, almost 8:30 here. But this was a lot of fun. We should do more. Honestly, live top 5s can be more like this was a lot of fun. We should try to think of other fun stuff to do live like this. This could be really cool because you're never leaving YouTube ever, right, AJ? You're never going to leave and you're going to be on YouTube forever.
We'll see, maybe.
As long as Rob doesn't come back and berate you with height-related comments, then you'll get...
That's why I kind of want to leave.
Yeah, it's all Rob. Rob bullied you out of it.
I hate you, Rob.
I think you need to duel Rob. You have to duel him to get your pride back. You have to duel. You hear that, Rob? AJ challenges you to a duel.
That's right, Rob. I challenge you, man.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I might be a little rusty, but I have won like mostly all the duels since I was a kid. So.
Ooh, you see that, Craig? Rob, if he gets you, dude, he's gonna get you. Oh my god, that's great, AJ. Yeah. All right, man.
Well, before we head out, everyone, we got another live coming up tomorrow. It's gonna be something different, but like it should be a lot of fun.
Everybody, come back tomorrow night to watch AJ and I eat some food with more of our friends. Yeah,
a little spoiler, but we're gonna have a mukbang live tomorrow. Same time that we started with this video, we're gonna have Nakama collectibles, and we got Derek derping with Derek. We got Justin from Just Pops, and we got Russell from Russell Collects. Man, we're just gonna eat, hang out, chill, talk. So it's gonna be a fun mukbang.
Mukbang. We're gonna be mukbanging. That's goofy.
Yeah, so that's gonna be pretty fun. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, man. So join us to watch us eat.
Yum. All right,
What do you
AJ.
what do you plan on eating tomorrow, Jerry?
I'll bring a full pizza just for you. I'll bring an entire Little Caesars pizza. I'll eat it just for your live. Heck, I'll put a hamburger on top of the pizza for you.
A
I won't do
pizza
that.
burger.
Pizza burger. That's what I was thinking. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna. I think I really do want pizza, just because I've been craving pizza.
I'm probably getting a Jack's myself.
Ooh, Jack in the Box.
Yep.
All right, you heard it here live first, everyone. AJ will be eating Jack in the Box tomorrow night. Oh, but you wouldn't be able to get a munchie meal, dude. That's all I get at Jack in the Box.
No, same here. Like usually, if I'm ever out and about, and like once it's like 9, and if I'm craving for food, I always got to go with the munchie meal.
Dude, the munchie meal. Oh my god, that thing is that thing does not play around. You see all these? They're revealing a bunch of new Funko stuff right now, AJ.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, dude. Kool-Aid packet, baby peanut, Kool-Aid man, a Coca-Cola cap, a Spam can, actual Mr. Peanut, a bag of donuts, a Coca-Cola can, slush puppy. They revealed all those ad icons. A Bob's Big Boy with a Bob's Big Boy restaurant. Some new Funko sodas.
That one's pretty funny. You said a bag of donuts?
Dude, AJ, it's legitimately a bag of donuts. They're making a Funko Pop of a bag. It's not going to be able to show, but dang it.
Let me see if I can.
This is my lighting. I don't think you can kind of see it there. You see how it's just like a bag of, donuts, like donuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what the hell, dude? Like, what do they think? How is that a Funko Pop? I mean, okay, yeah, that's whatever. Funko's out of control. Funko. All right, AJ, let's wrap it up we're getting close to an hour. Do you want to make it to an hour point? Because we already made it this far.
Screw it, yeah.
Oh my God, shut up. You're all about making it last, dude. Well, the only thing I can say is I wish we had been able to do, if we were to do anything like this again, I want to talk about monsters that are after the original Yu-Gi-Oh series, because some of my favorite monsters came out in GX and in 5Ds. Even though I wasn't, 5Ds is whatever, but some of the coolest monsters, like there's a dragon that's a part of the Ice Barrier set. I have to look up his exact name, but he's an amazing dragon that I like a lot. His name was... all the Yu-Gi-Oh fans are going to roast me.
Wait, didn't they do like a rip-off of the God cards?
Yeah, probably, but it doesn't matter. The card I was thinking was Trishula, the dragon of the Ice Barrier, one of my favorite dragon monsters. He's really, really cool. I also, obviously, I love the Ojama trio. They were like my favorite monsters growing up, but they didn't debut until GX. Ojama green, yellow, and black, and they fused together into the Ojama King. They're just like big old blob looking guys. So cool. And obviously, if anyone has watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, that's where they introduced the Elemental Hero cards. AJ, I don't know if do you know the Elemental Heroes?
To me, I don't really know them.
You don't know them? Yeah, you weren't into them. So they were these like superhero type cards that they started making in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. The main character, Jaden Yuki, he would use like these Elemental Hero cards. That's what they were called. And they were so cool. Like growing up, I thought they were the coolest cards in the world. Like I was like, oh my gosh. There was like Elemental Hero Clayman, Sparkman, Burstinatrix, Avian, like all these like cool monsters that were like they were based off like the elements, obviously, and they were like superheroes based off the elements. So super cool concept. And they all like fuse. They like used fusion all the time. They would like fuse together. Oh my gosh, AJ, some of the coolest designs. Even though it was for GX, really cool monster cards. So if we were ever do it again, I would want to talk about some of the later shows cards too, because Yu-Gi-Oh is just awesome. I mean, honestly, it's just awesome, AJ.
Oh yeah, I'll be down. Like maybe we could do it like around November.
Oh yeah, November. Yeah, okay. I'll do it.
Yeah, if we were since next week I'm leaving the country, so
I know. All right, we hit our hour, AJ. We're gonna hit it in 2, 1. Yay! Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters Live. All right, AJ.
My wife wants to eat dinner. It's getting late here. We didn't eat dinner before I did this.
So all right.
Thank you for having me on your show. I call this the AJ's Collectibles Show. That's what this is now. And thank you for having me on.
No, it was a lot of fun, bro. And I also want to thank everyone who tuned in. Titus, Rob, Nakama, Woke Sage, and everyone who's gonna watch the replay. Really appreciate every single one of you watching and talking about our top 5. And hopefully, we can do this again with the rest of y'all very soon. With Nakama, Woke Sage, Rob, or like Titus as well, like everyone else who loves Yu-Gi-Oh. We can do like our own top 5, later on as well. All right, then, bro. I'll talk to you later, Jerry. All right, this is AJ from AJ's Collectibles signing off. I'll see you guys on the next live. Peace.